A Requiem for the Pac. With the news that Oregon and Washington have officially been accepted into the Big Ten Conference, and that Arizona, Arizona State, and Utah are set to join the Big 12 Conference, it is perhaps an understatement to say the Pac-12 is in a lot of trouble. Because for all intents and purposes, the Pac-12 Conference that traces its founding all the way back to 1915 appears to be dead. You really have to feel for fans of the Pac, especially lifelong fans, the folks who have watched Pac football for years or even decades. For Washington State and Oregon State, you hope that there is a lifeline somewhere available. As of the time of this recording, there are rumors that the Big 12 is in talks with ESPN and Fox to try and add both schools, albeit at a reduced rate. Now, if that doesn't work out for the Cougars and the Beavers, the only realistic option on the table for both schools appears to be joining the Mountain West Conference. As for Stanford and Cal, the other two schools remaining, the last men standing, if you will, a lot of the rumors seem to be indicating that Stanford is contemplating football independence and that California is kind of sitting on the fence, not sure of whether to try and join the Mountain West or have a go at independence themselves. Either way you cut it, though, it's going to be a tough road ahead for all four of those schools. So in my advice for all four of those schools, Stanford, Cal, Oregon State, Washington State, is to study what TCU did after the collapse of the Southwest Conference in 1995. For those who don't know, the Southwest Conference was at its end essentially just a Texas-based conference. And kind of like now, back in 95, at the end of the SWC's time, there were four schools that had nowhere else to go, and those schools were TCU, Houston, SMU, and Rice. And it's interesting to look at the journey of TCU starting in 1996. Because when the Southwest Conference imploded, they had nowhere to go. They joined the Western Athletic Conference, and they were in the WAC until 2000. Eventually going on to win the WAC in both 1999 and 2000. In 2001, the Horned Frogs transferred their conference membership to Conference USA, a more Eastern-based football league, and then went on to win that conference's championship in 2002. In 2005, the Horned Frogs moved again to the Mountain West Conference, which was seen at that time as the best conference outside of the power leagues. And TCU had one heck of a run in the Mountain West, winning 4 conference titles starting in 2005 and then winning 3 in a row in 2009, 10, and 11. And this was capped off by perhaps the biggest win in recent history for TCU, the Rose Bowl victory over Wisconsin on January 1st of 2011. TCU at that point in time had scratched and clawed their way back to national relevance. It took them about 15 years to do so, but they did it, and it doesn't get much bigger than winning a Rose Bowl. All of this, of course, results in TCU getting the invitation to join the Big 12 and starting play in that league in 2012. So why am I saying this? I'm saying this because it can be done. You as a football program can lose your status in a power conference, but you can fight and you can make smart moves and you can win your way back into national relevance. And for those schools who have been left out or who are looking at a very challenging set of conditions starting next year, there is light at the end of the tunnel. It's not completely hopeless. It's going to take work. You're going to have to scratch, you're going to have to claw, and most importantly, you're going to have to plan to be successful in modern college football. But you can do it. And I stress to any school who wants to succeed, who wants to work their way back into the big time, again, look at the model set forth by TCU. There's a blueprint in place. You can probably figure out a way to even do it quicker than TCU. This is Kevin in Texas giving a shout out to those Pac fans who have been left out of realignment. The Pac is dead. Long live the Pac. I'll talk to you later. Bye.